Before this sode gets started, we'd like to give a shout out to our listeners, our patrons, and our sponsors. This show would not be possible without any of you. If you'd like to know more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on patreon.com/3BG. And a massive shout out goes to our boss level patrons, Christopher and Patrick. You guys rock. And now, weekly gaming shenanigans with the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Enjoy.
Let's do this.
See, and then right there, we say something like Foodio Games afterwards.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the point is. It's actually pretty stupid.
No. It's like video game sounds and eating sounds all at once.
No, it's really terrible. It sort of just makes me feel sick.
Yeah, why did you pick the grossest eating sounds you could find?
I mean, they're not the grossest ever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's definitely worse ones. Plus, I kind of like the crunch sound at the end.
Yeah, I think that was Yoshi.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good sound clip.
Dude, that's one of the best ones you've made, JD.
Probably the best ever, honestly.
Wait, what?
You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show.
Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
This is Trent.
All I ever want to do is write scripted content for Trent and be like his voice and just watch him do it. It's just too good. Well done, Trent.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news.
All right, our news this week, as with all weeks, is brought to us by Crave Cookies. And we've got the man of the hour on with us to tell us, Trent, what is Crave Cookies' cookie of the week this week?
So Crave Cookies' cookie of the week is still half a work in progress, but I'll give you the gist of it or what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So we got Cinco de Mayo coming up. So we are doing a refried beans cookie with crushed tortilla strips on top and a little bit of chocolate.
Oh, it's called mole, actually.
Oh, that's
mole
what that
cookie.
is. No, we're doing a dulce de leche cookie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're toying around with some ideas, but what we think it's going to be is like a chocolate kind of sandwich cookie. So 2 chocolate cookies with this dulce de leche filling kind of cream in the middle of it. So
Oreo style.
something along
like
those lines, but it's not completely finished yet because we can't be in the store all the time right now. So we're getting there.
You can't be in the test kitchen.
Can't be in the test kitchen all the time. It's a little busy.
So if you guys are in Utah, you know that we're opening back up to we're already open. So I'm sure that's really lovely. But it doesn't matter because Crave Cookies is already been completely safe and they're going to keep being safe, right, Trent?
And we are not going to open our lobby. So we're just going to stay how we are.
I like that I didn't even ask. I'm just like, hey, my friend Trent's not a dumb shit. So I'm pretty sure his cookie shop isn't going to just open its lobby back up.
Yeah, no more masks for us, no gloves. Lobby's open. We
Full
spit on your
sneeze
food.
rules are back in effect.
Dude, we get to
Don't
cough on
see
your
us
food
sneeze, I'd be
again.
worried.
We get a. If I can't be coughing on people's food,
Our
what is-
employees have been getting so antsy. Like, when are you going to cough on the food again?
So,
Where am I supposed to cough, boss? Where am I supposed to cough?
In your
I
mask.
don't know how to do this. Job has gotten so hard lately. All right. So for cookies, they've got cookies through the drive-thru and through delivery apps, and you can find out all of this and more and check out all their delightful cookies on cravecookies.com. All right. The news this week. Peterson, you seemed, of all of us, the most horny about this trailer. So you get to talk about this.
That is an apt description. So I watched the Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer. It dropped, and I knew it was going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's been out there for a while. I think
Like
it
a
was
year.
actually leaked first, right?
It was teased in the the Division 2 actually in a poster in the Division 2.
I'm pretty sure Walmart Canada broke that story at some point too.
Oh yeah.
And so they dropped the first trailer, and I loved it. I'm in. I loved it so much. Full disclosure, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game. Not even one. Not even
Assassin's Creed Pirates?
None of them.
Oh. Assassin's Creed Pirates is the only one worth playing.
So good.
Ugh.
Well, I've heard great things about. Honestly, I've only heard good things about the last two, Odyssey and Origins, and so that kind of piqued my interest. And then this trailer just looked so good. It was, the English king writing a letter about the Vikings, and it's like, oh, they're saying all these horrible things about them, and then it's like showing the Vikings kind of the opposite,
being all nice and not killing people.
Well, they're like, they're raiding a village, and they're like, they kill indiscriminately, and they're like letting the women and children go. I don't know how realistic that is, but it was really cool for the trailer. And so they get to this like battle scene where the English are like, we're declaring war on the Vikings, and they get to this crazy fight, and it all goes down. Just watch the trailer. It was fantastic. I had goosebumps. I'm in. For me, it just hit on so many things.
Well, the funniest thing is that like I saw this. There's this meme. It's Leonardo DiCaprio in some film, but he's just pointing excitedly at something like he recognizes it. Like, oh shit! And It's at the scene in this trailer at the very end when you think the guy's going to get his shit pushed in, the assassin or the presumed assassin, and instead he stabs the bad guy. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen this. In the eye with one of his Assassin's Creed.
I think we can spoil trailers. I don't know if
we can
that's
spoil trailers. Well, that was the funny thing.
It's been out for like 8 hours.
Well, after I saw it, when I saw that scene, that was my reaction. I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's the thing. It's like the blade. It's like the blade.
It's the assassin blade."
I was so excited, and I was like, "Dude, you were such an idiot." And then I saw that meme, and I just felt attacked. Like
he posted it to me. I could not stop laughing because I was like, "Yep, that's how I reacted too." I was like, "Oh yeah, there it is."
You forget you're watching an Assassin's Creed trailer. You're like, "Oh, it's just some Viking game," and then all of a sudden, it's Assassin's Creed, and you're like, "Oh yeah, the thing! It's like the thing!" Freaking amazing. So I looked into a little bit of it, and there's a lot of new things in this game that are unique to Assassin's Creed games. Def seems like a lot less assassin-y in terms of sneaking around and getting stealth kills. It's going to be a lot more big battles and raids, like Viking fights. The Viking, it's like a fighting style that also resembles Vikings, so it's less stealthy and stabbing people in the neck and more, I don't know, apparently dual wielding shields.
So it's Assassin's Creed by name only.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with that.
Like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really care. Like, who cares? I feel like it in some ways the team at Ubisoft that's so good at this and good at doing historical fiction stuff wishes they didn't have the yoke of Assassin's Creed around their neck, and they could just call it history game, and then they wouldn't have to have a overall storyline to have to deal with. They could just call this one like Ragnarok or something and have it be a Viking game completely standalone and not have to deal with all the dumb bullshit. I bet they would be relieved. But whatever, it's cool. Like, it's cool. It's Assassin's Creed, and they need the name brand slapped on there, just like Call of Duty only vaguely resembles Call of Duty 1 and 2 at this point. It's like,
I'll say Ubisoft. I love that Ubisoft is the studio behind these games, because they pull off these things so well. I mean, it looks incredible. That's one. All of their games look good, right? They don't make a game that I don't watch and say, "Oh man, that looks great." Every single time, I love it. The game looks really good. They do blood and gore. They are not afraid to shy away from that, which is kind of what you want in a Viking game.
Gory. this is way more gory than a lot of Assassin's Creeds have been in the past. Assassin's Creed's traditionally stabby. This has been a lot more cutty.
Hacky.
Hacky. Ooh, that's a better hacky, slashy. Peter, tell us this last thing.
So my favorite part about this whole story, though, is Ubisoft, in their depth of experience, already knows what's going to happen, because you can choose to play between you can choose if to be a male or a female Viking, right? And they already know that gamers are going to be so mad that you can play as a female. And they're going to be
ceiling broken, all the oppressed groups shall prosper, especially the most oppressed group of all, gamers.
Yep.
Guys, gamers are being oppressed again.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. They already know. They already know, and they already have put out statements, and they've got a historian that's like Ubisoft's advisor that chimes in, and he's like, look, archaeological sources are highly debated on the specific issue of female Vikings, as fighters. It says, but the fact is, and what's really important, is that part of that female warriors are part of their conception of the world. Sagas and myths from Norse society are full of tough female characters and warriors. It's part of their culture. So that's like the professional version of this. The unprofessional answer is, again, guys, who cares?
Get fucked. The last time I played an Assassin's Creed game, I rode through all of ancient Egypt exclusively on a chocobo. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the chocobo from the Final Fantasy series, it's basically a giant chicken chick. Or like a yellow ostrich?
Yep.
With a giant head?
It's a big bird that you ride.
And
I'm pretty sure those aren't real.
My sword was never not on fire. So these guys that are like, dude, I need this game to be so realistic as they unsheath their flaming scythe from their like skeleton death horse. I don't want to play as a woman, though.
Are you kidding me? A woman? Can't wait till they release the Chocobo content. But a woman? How dare you?
Yeah, that's tight. I like that they've already shut that down.
Dude, it's still going to happen, though. It's still going to happen. And it's probably going to... It could easily make a Blurstein nomination.
Yeah. This could easily turn... If there's still gamer rage despite their preempting of the gamer rage, yeah, that's a Blurstein nom just right off the bat. Because that's you're going out of your way to be offended.
They push past all of the reasoning that's already out there to be mad. They like really have to try for it.
Yeah, because usually how this works is like some nerd comes up with a very strong opinion that he formulates instantly in his mind after seeing that you can play as a woman in this game. He posts this very strong opinion online and foments a bunch of people, just gets them all frothy and pissed off. And then when the studio invariably releases a statement that's like, hey, this is historically accurate or X, Y, or Z, these guys have now at this point banked so much of their rage and reputation on being pissed off about this that it doesn't matter. So maybe Ubisoft cut that off at the knees. It remains to be seen. I will be excited.
Question.
But yes.
Do you think that they will get mad then that the female Vikings are not dressed sexy enough?
Oh, definitely.
Because I imagine they'll be in like full armor, right?
Man, the things I've seen is like doesn't even matter how they dress. Sometimes, like if their hair is too short, or if like a woman has a buzz cut,
that's true.
Or if like anything offends any random sensibility they might have.
If it's not JRPG style females with the huge boobs and the no clothes, then they are.
Yeah,
that's kind of offensive.
If there's not like a separate menu where I can just go stare at my character's bare feet. What's this all been about? What's the point? So I love this. This is GTA Online players are picking sides in a giant alien war.
Please say more.
Okay. I will say more.
This is the craziest.
So GTA Online is essentially just exactly what you think it would be. Just like a ton of people running around the GTA 5 game world, doing all sorts of crazy shit, especially in this game mode called Free Roam, in which there's all sorts of it's like the Wild West, because I think there's a lot of hacking, a lot of people using exploits in the game and doing things. I was reading about one that people are pissed about. There's an orbital missile that apparently has like a 2 in-game day cooldown, so you have to wait 2 in-game days to use this missile. Because it comes from a satellite and it will wreck anything. Unless you're like in your house, you will die no matter what building you're in. And so people have hacked it so they can just drop this at will. So this thing is so what I guess I'm building at is GTA Online is just this crazy anarchist playground. And so the latest thing that emerged, and I think I saw the trend was noticed on TikTok videos. So what was happening is that people were dressing up as green aliens, using a green alien costume in the game, and you could just be out exploring the world, doing whatever, and all of a sudden 2 cars are going to pull up full of green aliens jumping out and beating you to death with baseball bats.
But only baseball bats, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems like they have some code of honor against using guns.
No guns.
Which is even funnier. So what's so funny is the way these TikTok videos look, and we'll post some of them in our Discord channel, is that like it's like Travis Scott, that style of rap music playing it's like playing so loudly on these TikTok videos, it's like distorted. And they just will roll up and like 20 aliens will pour out of these cars and just go beat some unsuspecting fool to death with baseball bats.
Some guy playing solo, just some dude.
Yeah, just someone like trying to steal a helicopter or complete a mission or something, and they just roll up and just beat him to death. It is so fucking funny. I could not stop laughing watching these videos. So what happened as these things happen is people, getting organized with the green alien gang on Discord servers and whatnot. They're all they're coordinating their raids. Meanwhile, a counterinsurgency is rising among purple aliens because the purple aliens exist solely to kill green aliens, and the green aliens are just anarchists who want to kill everyone. So now the green aliens are being hunted by the purple aliens. However, there are quite a bit fewer purple aliens than green aliens. And then all of a sudden, red aliens burst onto the scene, and the green aliens and the purple aliens gang up to kill, and they decide to ally and kill the red aliens. It's just so funny. If for any moment you guys thought that this wasn't, or if you forgot, these are all people. Like, these are all this isn't like something that's just like an event happening in the game. This is just like a collective insanity of this gathering of people in GTA Online that are just like, this is what we're doing. There's not like an announcement in game, and they rarely even update this game anymore. This is just a bunch of dudes. They're like, hey, we're doing aliens this week.
And it's not like anyone got together beforehand and planned it. It just looks like it just started happening.
It just fucking
happened. An event.
It's amazing.
This is when gamers are amazing
at their best.
Yes, because this type of stuff will happen, and it's just a thing now. Like, it'll be gone in a few months, right? No one will be doing the alien thing. But like, this thing is happening. People are on board. They're factioning up just to give themselves something to do. This is the only time where I am kind of jealous that I'm not playing the game, that I'm not in there. 100%. I want to be one of the alien teams. Just, I see somebody and it's like, I got to get that person, specifically that person, because they're wearing a purple alien costume. Get out my baseball bat.
With a baseball
get
bat.
Them, boys.
We're gonna post it on TikTok, because that's like the order of operations apparently.
Yep.
So amazing.
So yeah, we'll post some of those videos where they just made me so happy.
I love it so much.
And then We saved the best for Last of Us. Last of Us
Heyo.
Part 2. Heyo, thanks guys. The Last of Us Part 2 leaked. Like all of it leaked. Apparently, and I don't know, dude. I don't know how we missed this. And this is a real mea culpa from us at the 3-Bit Gamer Show that we missed this story in Kotaku last month. But it is this is the headline. It's even Jason Schreier. Like, how did we miss a Jason Schreier report on like the one thing that we love to cover on this podcast?
Guys,
here's the headline.
Normally we are on top of it. We have let you down. I'm so sorry.
We're just really busy right now at home. There's just so much going on. You can't keep up with the news anymore. So
existential dread. I've been very busy with that lately. Okay, so here's the headline. As Naughty Dog crunches on The Last of Us 2, developers wonder how much longer this approach can last. I mean, it's the exact same thing. I don't even need to tell you guys this story. It's the same story you've heard for the last couple years out of a number of different studios. The one thing that's pretty unique about this is apparently Naughty Dog has a culture that revolves around everyone being their own producer. Now, if you guys are regular listeners of this podcast and you have heard Danny, our indie dev friend that comes on, talk about her producer and the value that he brings to her small, tiny, independent development team and the games they work on very intimately and closely together, they still have a producer. Can you imagine a studio the size of Naughty Dog working on a game as complex, large, and massive in scale and scope as The Last of Us Part 2 without a single producer?
That's wild. That makes no sense. It really doesn't.
It's a product. So if you guys don't know software development, a producer is essentially like a product manager or a project manager. And so they're setting timelines, they're setting priorities, they're making sure that everyone's working on the same stuff. There are a number of issues that this brings up, and they brought up specific things in the article that you could just probably surmise using basic common sense. But for example, there was like an artist that was working on something for 2 weeks that had been canceled, and he didn't know because there was nobody to tell him. It wasn't like, oh, somebody fucked up. It's like that somebody doesn't exist. Like he had to figure that out on his own because he's his own producer. Have you ever heard of something so fucking insane?
He shows up and he's like, all right, hey guys, you know what? I've just been locked in my office, really dialed in. I knocked it out though. Here's the content you guys been wanting me to ask for. I'm super tired, but I wanted to make sure this was good for you. Gives it to him and like, bro, we canceled this like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, he's dude, like, you're still working on Last of Us Part 2? We started Last of Us Part 3 like 3 years ago. Oh, have you not come out of your office since then? Bro.
How did you not find out? We had an email chain about it. Oh, you know what? No, we spelled your first name wrong in the email. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
sorry. We were wondering why you weren't replying.
Sorry, you should have been your own producer on that one. Oh,
you idiot. You really dropped the ball.
So essentially, they have been working people to death. Obviously, their timelines are crazy extended because they don't have anyone organizing their timelines. I can't even fathom this thing. And they have just been bleeding employees ever since the last game they made was Uncharted 4. And they have lost their attrition rate of their non-lead developers. That is just kind of like the low-level devs, the people that are going to come on and do the majority of the grunt work. The attrition rate was 70%. Was that what it was, Peterson?
Yes. And that is
70%?
70 from Uncharted 4 to Last of Us Part 2.
If at the company I work for, if we had an attrition rate of 15%, that would be like priority number one. We got to fix something. That is way too high. 70% is... It's how do you do anything? How do you get anything done? And I'm not even joking, because video games, as you know, go into development for years, right? People work on these for years, and that's been kind of the thing. People are so proud that they started a game, finished a game, it came out, and they love it, right? That's not happening. With 70%, you're getting someone going, hey, we need to fix this bug. Who worked on that before? Oh, that was Bill. Okay, well, give me Bill. Bill doesn't work here anymore. He quit a year ago. Okay, well, now
70% over 4 years.
Dude,
that's wacky.
It is ridiculous. Like, how do you even function as a business?
Yeah, that's what blows my mind is that they expect that they can just pick up the slack because there's so many people that want to be working in video game development. However, here's the biggest problem that they fail to understand is that they are not just asking someone to come work as an artist or as a programmer or as a tester. They're asking someone to come work as an artist / producer, as a programmer / producer, as a tester / producer. That is such a specific skill set that is very unique to Naughty Dog and the original culture that they had built a decade plus ago, when it probably worked, when they were working on the Jak and Daxter games, when they were working on the original Uncharted games. But even then, they were burning out employees. So it was never a sustainable idea. But instead of like turning down the reactor, they cranked it up.
Yep.
And then they lost everyone. I don't know. So the beautiful thing is that they didn't have to wait that long for it to bite them in the ass on this one, because some disgruntled employee leaked everything, just everything, all the screenshot or all of the cutscenes from the game, the entire debug menu, which the debug menu is what testers use in the game to just jump to do whatever they want essentially in the game. So if you're a tester and you need to test the last 10 minutes of level 4 in world 5, you don't have to go there. You don't have to get there in the game. You can just jump yourself there. So what I'm getting at is the debug menu is everything. And that's what they leaked. So the whole story of the game, all of its cutscenes, a lot of its gameplay, and a whole lot more have all been leaked. And the best part is of this story, best or worst, depending where you're looking, is that everyone fucking hates it.
Dude, maybe it's just like a Sonic play. Maybe this was all intentional, and they just wanted to see how we reacted to it so they could scrap the whole thing and start over.
They could be like, they didn't like that. Let's go with ending number 2.
Yeah.
Game number 2. They didn't like
just,
any of it.
Just start over, guys. Hold on. 2 more years of crunch. I promise it'll be worth it. I promise your 5 coworkers.
Don't worry. Still no one in charge. Just go for it.
This is how the speech goes at Naughty Dog when they ask him to do 2 more years of crunch. They say, look to your left. Look to your right. Both of those people will be gone in 2 months. You're like, is this supposed to be a fucking pep talk or what?
And you probably won't be here either.
The only person who's still going to be on is Derek, who nobody told him because he's been in his office this whole time.
All right, guys, everybody raise your hand. All right, everyone that's hand is raised, you're all going to quit. I don't like this game. So anyway, everyone
aptly titled The Last of Us.
Hey, yeah, this is going to be the last of Us. I promise you that much. So if you guys remember, the first Last of Us came out 8 years ago. It's set in a zombie apocalypse in which the zombies are more like, they're plant zombies. Plants versus Zombies. So The Last of Us was originally a sequel to Plants vs. Zombies.
That's what I'd heard. The mobile game, right?
Yeah, and so you play as this character named Joel, and you are setting off across the wasteland of America with a small girl named Ellie who is immune to this virus or whatever it is. She's immune to the plants, and so you're looking for a cure with her. And it's a really brutal story. Very brutal is exactly the word I would choose.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. I don't know. It's hard to watch some of the cutscenes and make some of the choices you have to make in the game. And so they kind of had a really a high watermark to reach with this game, and I wouldn't say a high watermark, but they just had like expectations of this game being hardcore, I guess. And I think, judging from, I read the leaks. I'm sorry, I'm that guy. I read them all because I was so curious, and that people were so mad about it. I had to know, and I think they overdid
it. Too much.
That's all I will say, because it's not like I mean, yeah, it's too much. It's too fucking much. And you can say, it's really hard to judge a story like that when it is presented in a bullet point format on a leaked website, and you're like, oh, and which is what people were saying about Game of Thrones season 8 leaks and the Rise of Skywalker leaks, that, oh, well, you're just reading them out of context, and I'm sure it'll play out better on screen. I think people have been burned so many times recently, like very recently, like those two examples I just said, both were last year, that they see leaked content like this, and if it's like this sour, which is pretty fucking sour, they're done. And so the last thing I'll say on this, because I'm really trying not to get in spoiler territory, is the director of the game, the vice president and the writer director of the video game, Neil Druckmann, in his Twitter bio, one of his things in his Twitter bio says, abuser of characters.
He's proud of it.
Excuse me?
Like he's proud of abusing his characters in his games or in his creations, which I've heard George R.R. Martin express kind of a similar emotion, but it's more like he has fun messing with his characters.
I thought was just like, no one's safe, though. Like,
yeah, that's his thing. But Neil Druckmann saying he's an abuser of characters, just
like he's enjoying it.
That's not like good writing, and just abuse for abuse's sake. Like,
it's cheap.
I guess we can just watch. Yeah, like, I don't need that. I'll just go watch Requiem for a Dream on a loop until I feel sick to my stomach. I don't need.
Don't do that, JD.
I know, dude. There's a reason that like we don't get a movie like Requiem for a Dream every year. Like, there's not a lot of demand for it, and it doesn't necessarily, and it doesn't all, and it's really hard to do right, and it's hard to do respectfully. And this is the stuff from the leaks is so heavy-handed and so like over the top and cartoonish that it's like, oh, and so all of this stuff piles up between, you know, the shithead, the company status. And by the way, just an aside, I hate all these studios whose like the vice president is also like the lead writer on the game. This is the exact same thing that happens at Rockstar. The guys, the two brothers that worked on the Hauser brothers that worked on Red Dead Redemption 2, and they were single-handedly responsible for writing like all the dialogue and script and story and everything. When you are that high up as a writer, as a creative, you just are not taking any feedback.
Yep.
Which is fine if you're the game director, but you can't play both roles. You don't get to be the game director and writer and the vice president of the company. You will never get honest creative feedback on your stuff, and you need that on a product like a video game. Imagine if Pixar films were just completely owned by one dude that took no feedback or input at all.
His brain was all that mattered, right?
And his brain just wants to abuse characters.
And so what I don't like about that, and you kind of mentioned it, was that it shows a lack of respect for the story and the characters that they've built, right? To just be, that's what rubbed me wrong when it says abuser of characters, right? Because it shows me that he's just going to have fun making bad things happen to the characters.
Yes.
Without respect to what has happened in the story, what's happened in the characters' past, like not respecting the characters themselves, which sounds stupid, right? Because it's a work of fiction. You can do whatever you want. But in a good story, you respect your characters, you respect the story, and you earn those shock moments. You earn those crazy twists and turns. You don't just do them just because you're writing it and you can. it has no impact that way. Those have to be few and far between, high impact. And when you're saying you're an abuser of characters, the game is I mean, they're decently long games, but not that long. You haven't earned that many shock value things to happen, right?
Well, especially when it's not like a new title either. Like, this is a title that people loved the first one. Yeah. So they're expecting like a certain level of respect to the characters for that reason. So it just makes it,
And they're
That's
just,
awful. I hate that.
Yeah. So people were already sour with Naughty Dog, and now they're like, well, cool. Now I have a reason not to buy this shitty game. I am very interested. It's been delayed twice now because of, obviously, COVID contributed to the second delay. The first delay was crunch related. And so it's set to come out this month. And I am interested to see how it does sales wise. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be fairly disappointing, but who knows? We may be wrong. But I did want to mention, I wanted to bring this up as an aside because I liked the topic. I wanted to ask you guys, so I think a part of the reaction is that I saw on Reddit, a lot of people expressed when they saw how heavy the content matter was in the game, in the leaks, that they were like, I don't think I have the appetite for that right now. With everything that's going on in the world, I don't think a game about a global pandemic killing a ton of people, and now I have to make really hard decisions about my loved ones. I don't know if I'm ready for that emotionally. So I want to ask you guys, because this isn't going anywhere soon. You've got predictions that we're going to have resurgence and COVID's just going to be like the new flu. Like, we have the flu and we have COVID. Do you guys think that there might be a bit of a moratorium from the video game industry on making bleak games?
I don't know that I would say there's going to be a moratorium, because I think you're always going to have people that still want that. I mean, we've been in this, now for like 6 weeks? Mm-hmm. And 3 weeks into it, when we had kind of finally calmed down a little bit, we watched Contagion.
Oh no. Was it so?
It was awful. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all, but we still wanted to put ourselves through it for some reason. And so I think there's always going to be people that are like, I don't know, maybe they'll just find it more relatable now. I don't know.
Dude, I think... Go ahead, Peterson.
I was going to say, so my take is, I think this will definitely play an impact, but I think it's all kind of just the timing of everything. So think about it. We have had some very successful, huge games that are not bleak recently. We had Untitled Goose Game.
How about Stardew Valley just taking over everyone's life?
Stardew Valley, and no, the other one is why can't I think of what it's called?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Thank you. Golly, I
gotcha.
Animal Crossing. So these are positive, feel-good games. There is no like bleak in them, and so you've got these games that are wildly successful. And then despite whatever happens, I think The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be successful. I do think they are not going to hit their quarterly targets, whatever they've got for the game, because a big part of why people buy it is they want to know what's going to happen. I think a lot of people are going to wait and see how people are responding now, right? Because it's all been leaked. So they're going to be like, well, if people are saying this game kind of sucks, I'm not going to play it. So I think Last of Us 2, it's a bleak game. Depending on how this does, I think it'll show what we want, because we also have Cyberpunk coming out, which isn't a fruity, positive, frou-frou, happy, bouncy game, right? This is Cyberpunk's in a bleak setting. It's not great. And so I think it's going to really depend on how those two games do on whether we continue with the bleak trend. But I think we're going to see, because games cycle, the development cycle is so long, I think we're going to see a bunch of real positive games in the next year that'll come out because of COVID, because of the positive games that came out. I think we're going to see a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's a good prediction because of the ones that have been doing so well, like Stardew, Animal Crossing, and the ones we mentioned. I think a ton of people and developers are probably buckling down right now and coming up with ideas for those. I think one thing that Trent touched on is just kind of what I was going to say is that I don't think these are going anywhere. I think ultimately everyone's going to have a morbid curiosity about games, and quite frankly, if not all of the greatest video game stories of all time are sad. Last of Us, Gone Home, Heavy Rain, Red Dead Redemption, BioShock, Final Fantasy VII, games that stories are cited as in the argument like, oh, can video game stories be like really emotional and impactful? Like these are the games that come up, and these are all sad. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think, Peterson, I love your prediction, though. That maybe we'll have some more happy ones.
I'd be okay with that.
All right, let's move on.
Kudos, I'm yours.
All right, Kudos is our positivity segment. Give a shout out to something we like, and I have to give a shout out. Big kudos to Taco Bell.
Oh, the bell getting the kudos. What did they do this time?
Okay, so I have been avoiding fast food like the plague for multiple reasons. First of all...
Okay, too soon, JD. Too freaking soon. You can't say like the plague.
Can't say plague.
You bastard.
Too soon. I am so sorry, you guys. I have been avoiding fast food because it's not local, and I've been trying to spend and shop local every single opportunity I can. And because I feel like a lot of fast food joints are taking advantage and mistreating their employees at a time when fast food employees and lower wage workers are especially vulnerable. So it makes me feel shitty to support a business like that. However, I looked at Taco Bell just on a whim because someone mentioned it. And so what I've been doing is like, I don't know, like I'm on a diet, and so I just go to McDonald's website and just stare at pictures. Like it's fucking pornography. Yeah, dude. I just like sit there and stare at it at work sometimes, like on my laptop.
Jenna walks in. What are you doing, JD?
No.
Just looking. I'm just looking.
What are you doing with those napkins? So
it was
so I was looking at Taco Bell doing my disgusting voyeurism of fast food online. And I saw that they have, when you go to TacoBell.com, they have like their policies and their programs that are not only built to like protect their consumers, but their employees and what they're doing. They have two weeks paid sick leave for anyone that's showing symptoms or anyone that's sick. They have a lot of really good stuff that they're doing. Taco Bell is just like super fashion forward and progressive on how they're treating their employees. But what's really, really great and what elevated them to kudos status is when I finally went to the first fast food place I've been in 4 weeks, which if anyone actually knows me knows that's like the most insane thing that's ever come out of my mouth. Is that I went to Taco Bell and I was ordering online because I didn't want to like go to the drive-thru or anything. And they have breakfast salsa again.
It's back.
Yes. So the breakfast hot sauce is back. It's got like chunks of like peppers in it. Mm-hmm. And it is so fucking incredible. I put it on everything and I thought it was gone forever. So Taco Bell, kudos. You guys treat people right and you bring back my sauce. Now just give me my Reaper Ranch.
Dude, you've convinced me. I'm going back to Taco Bell tomorrow.
Yeah, everyone, if you're doing the same thing,
because I went earlier this week.
Yeah, your conscience can be clear eating at the Bell.
Yep. I have a quick kudos. Of course, during this time, it's funny because my days and nights are not that much different in terms of like what I'm doing because I'm working all day. I'm just down in my office.
Just blends together.
Right. But I am now watching new shows. I finished my Office rewatch, which never helps
Feels
me.
Good.
And so, yeah. And so I started a new show. It's a show that's been popping up on all of my things, which I don't know why, but it's Picard. Now, if you're familiar, it is a Star Trek TV show following Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who was captain of the Enterprise during Star Trek. Oh gosh, any Trekkies on here are going to kill me. Next Generation. That was the one.
TNG.
So, because I guess this is the thing. I'm not like I'm familiar with Star Trek. I like it enough, but I'm not way into it, right? And so I grabbed CBS online, whatever their streaming service is. You can get it for a month for free to watch Picard. I'd heard a lot of good things about it. I started it, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so good, you guys. It is not a very Star Trek-y story. I mean, it definitely is. They're talking Borg and Romulans and all these things like that. But it feels a little bit different because it's following retired Picard in this like adventure that he's thrown into post Next Generation type of thing. It does a lot of fan service, bringing back a lot of the old characters and talking about things that happened in movies during Captain Picard's era. But it's so good. It's so fun. It's a detective story, essentially, with a lot of action. The action sequences are very well done. Because if you go back and watch old Star Trek, right, that's one of the things that sticks out. It doesn't look really good. But of course, now the technology's there. It's much easier. So it looks good. I am thoroughly enjoying Picard. Now, I know there are some big Trekkies out there who don't love it. But for me, it is a really fun story set in a very cool sci-fi universe. And there's only one season out, 10 episodes. Sign up for CBS All Access.
How much is it?
I think like the non-commercial version is $10 a month or something. But just get your month for free. Watch Picard because it's absolutely worth it. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Dude, I love that. I'm glad that Trek just lives on because it's good that Trekkies always have like some way to get their dose.
Yeah, get something. Yeah, because it is a cool universe. It's like definitely sci-fi, whereas like Star Wars is fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And so it's definitely, they try to base it on science and try to talk about science of stuff. It's a good show. Honestly, it's a good show. I think everyone should watch it. I think if you like fantasy or sci-fi types of stuff at all, you will enjoy it.
Tight. All right. Do you want to introduce this next one, Peterson?
Yes. So we have a radio play for you. And so this radio play, we've called it Quest Givers Anonymous. And what this is it is a bunch of NPCs from games getting together because they have become addicted to giving way too many side quests. And so this is them in their Quest Givers Anonymous meeting. Enjoy.
In an out-of-the-way cottage, a group of brave NPCs sit in a circle on crude wooden chairs at a weekly Quest Givers Anonymous meeting.
Welcome, and thank you for coming. I know it takes strength to step away from your lives to come each week. Let us start off by saying the Quest Givers Anonymous motto together.
My
quests do not define me. I have value outside of quest giving. The first step in recovering from quest giving addiction is admitting that you have a quest giving addiction problem. As always, I'd like to start by going around the room to see if any of you have anything to say. Elwarn, maybe you'd like to start.
Hello, I'm Elwarn from Skyrim, and I'm a quest-giving addict. I used fetch quests on low-level heroes to earn them early, easy XP. It made me feel like I mattered when they came back to complete the quest. I hit my lowest point when I told a level 2 hero to defeat the rat infestation in my basement. They were my son's pet rats. The hero slaughtered them so easily that in his overconfidence he thought he could defeat a Draugr and was himself killed. I have to live with what I've done, and well, now my son won't talk to me anymore.
Wow. Thank you for sharing, Elwarn.
Yeah.
Mirkos, would you like to go next?
Hello, I'm Mirkos from The Witcher. Where I am from, you can only give quests to Geralt. Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf. I first encountered Geralt 5 years ago. I give him big, important quest and reward him with many crowns. This make me feel like important man, and I spend all my day waiting for Geralt. And then new expansion comes. I see less and less Geralt. I spiral into deep depression and lose all my quest money on Gwent in a local pub. I hit rock bottom when I tried offering side quests to prostitute NPC, and she laughed in my face and kicked me out of brothel. On my way out, I see Geralt walking toward me, but he walked right past me, didn't even recognize me, and he went into that very same brothel. That same day, I say to self, Mirkos, you need to stop. You have dreams, and giving quest is not your dream. I never give quest again.
Thank you, Mirkos. It looks like we have a couple of newcomers here today. Borderlands, why don't you introduce yourself?
Why does everyone assume I'm from Borderlands? I could be from Outer Worlds or Fallout. You meat bicycles always make so many assumptions.
Well, you're wearing a gas mask and just called us meat bicycles. But you're right. My apologies. Please, sir, what is your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, I go by Crazy Nutbag, but my real name is Jen. I'm from Borderlands.
Okay, Nutbag. Tell us about your quest-giving addiction.
Well, I thought this was more of a confessional situation. I don't really have an addiction. I've only given one quest that I feel kind of bad about.
Is slippery slope, my friend. I would like to hear what is this quest you give.
Well, see, I run a small slaughter farm where we repurpose the innards of wanderers we've just disemboweled.
My God.
Yeah, and see, there's this neighboring school for the Marauders' kids, and they keep going on field trips to find the wanderers so they can kill them themselves. I'm losing business. So one day, this vault hunter comes wandering by, and instead of just killing him, I decide to give this loser a quest. I send him over to take out the school, except I tell him it's a midget encampment. Well, he did it pretty easily, and that was the only quest I ever gave.
Yes, this is nice quest.
If it's just the one, I wouldn't worry about it, friend.
Well, thank you for sharing, Crazy Nutbag. And Mirkos, remember that quest stories shared here aren't for our indulgence. These aren't Quest Boy magazine articles. These are real lives. We also have another first-timer here. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm Keanu, but I guess I'm going by Johnny Silverhand. I'm from Cyberpunk. I actually haven't given any quests yet, but I'm supposed to start later this year, I think. I heard about the Quest Givers Anonymous, and since I'll be giving tons of quests, I thought I'd check it out. Yes, I have heard of this Cyberpunk. Yeah, hey, Mirkos. Actually, I was supposed to tell you that you did a great job as a quest giver. Really sublime work, my man. Really? They remember me? I must get back to my post. What if Geralt need me? I need to give quest. It's a big, important quest. I hear that Witcher is more popular than ever right now. I need to go.
Mirkos, don't go. After all the progress you've made, please stay.
Yeah, Mirkos, don't go, man. You can't go back there. You're better than that. Yes, but no, you are right. I can't go back. Good, because I have just the spot for you in Cyberpunk. They'll never kick you out of a brothel again, because you're going to own the brothel, bro. Yes, I want this. I will be quest giver number 1.
Mirkos, don't do this to yourself. Remember, my quest does not define me. I have value.
El Warniocho, El Asesino de Ratas. My man, I have a spot for you as well. You know how many rats we have in Night City? Bro, big freaking sewer rats. Just bring your son along. You guys can give quests together. He'll forget all about being pissed at you in no time.
Please don't do this. We've spent years building to this point. I don't know if I'm strong enough to start over.
Oh, yes, you are most gracious host. I know you.
Please, don't.
You're the worst of us all. Preston Garvey, Fallout 4 Senior Officer of the Minuteman, giver of endless quests. Another settlement needs our help.
Please stop. I don't think I can.
Say it, Preston. Another settlement needs
our help.
Welcome to Cyberpunk, buddy.
You have anything for me?
Nah, man, you're friggin' psycho. We got enough of those.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
And thus, Keanu Reeves broke up the only existing chapter of the Quest Givers Anonymous on his first and only visit. It was a long...
Hey, narrator, bro, you coming? I got a spot for you, too.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Wait up, Mr. Reeves.
Cyberpunk.
All right, so that was Quest Givers Anonymous. I hope you guys had as much fun listening to it as we had making it, because these are a blast to make.
All right, next up, maybe Peterson has an audio clip for us. Maybe. If not, I'll just say Foodio Games.
We're not playing the audio clip that JD played
again.
No, not that one. Peterson, you had the one that was Foodio.
So every time we play Foodio, when we say Foodio, I think of Rufio from Hook. And then when he first gets introduced, he comes in and they're like, Rufio. And so I was like, oh man, I wish I could make that into Foodio. Where can I get a crowd to chant that for me? And then I just, I'll Oh my god!
One person record their voice 20 times.
Dude, just record about your voice doing a bunch of stuff. I'll record a few. We'll play them all at the same time. No, and so I did make one. I'll play it. I'll play it here.
Yes! Oh, that is so dangerous.
All right, Foodio Games is our little segment where we like to push our two favorite things together into the same world. That is video games and food. And Peterson has been super vibing on Mike and Ike's Mega Mix.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Which way late to the party. Any of you, super listeners remember when I gave the Mega Mix kudos on like episode 40. Get out of
here. Okay.
Just try to keep up.
Dude, didn't you have Mega Mixes at your house when I lived with you?
Yeah, dude.
I feel like these have been around for a while. These are good. I like these.
Yeah, it's 10 flavors. I think all candies should have 10 flavors. Get out of here with 4. It's 2020. The world's ending. Everything fucking lights on fire for the whole summer every year now. And you can't give us 10 goddamn flavors of Skittles in the same bag? What's going on, guys? We put a man on the moon 50 years ago.
This rant is just out of
left
field.
What are you doing? You're wasting our fucking time.
Mike and Ike just seem like they're really easy to make. Skittles are probably harder.
Yeah, I know that's what they tell their investors, Trent.
That's what they want you to think.
That's what Big Candy wants you to believe.
Dude, Big Candy.
Big flavor.
Big flavor.
I mean, I'm not that picky. Like, just do 6.
Big sugar.
Like, start
big
small.
Sugar.
Start small. Start with like a 6 flavor bag, and we'll just mix it up from there.
Okay, that reminds me though. Do you remember how big of a deal it was when they made a new color of M&M?
Yeah,
when blue was added to the mix.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They've got us all chasing our tails. Well, meanwhile, they're pumping brain control chemicals into our brains from the airplanes.
Wait. What is happening?
Dude, here's the thing. It's a complete conspiracy. They made a big deal like, oh, we can't make an M&M blue for like 20 years, and they made such a big deal out of it. And now where are we at?
I'm sorry. Anything.
I have been listening to way too much Alex Jones lately.
So Big Sugar is in charge. Big Sugar is the one responsible for chemtrails. Is that what we're saying here?
Peterson, can you clip the last minute out?
Peterson, don't listen to JD. Leave it all in.
Listen, cut this. It's awful. This is all me trying to introduce the segment. Foodio Games.
We haven't even started the segment yet.
Dude, Peterson,
we gotta cut this. Candy.
This is terrible. It's gotta go.
I'm obsessed with it.
You can even leave this banter in.
So Foodio Games, for this segment, we are assigning a game, a genre, a whatever to these different candies. And so here are our candies that we have. We have Skittles, Almond Joy, Butterfinger, Gummy Bears, Mike and Ike's, of course, and Licorice. So let's start at the top. What is, for you guys, what is Skittles?
What game is Skittles? So I'll start, I guess. Skittles for me are for whatever reason, they are my go-to when I want something non-chocolate. I think because they're easily accessed, I can always find a pack of Skittles. They're always good, though. Skittles has released some gross flavors in the past that
Zombies.
Don't even get me started.
That was a good time, though.
No one had a good time with those.
We
Trent.
all had a good time.
They weren't even like laughable. They were so repulsive.
And then we left, and you finished the bag. I know,
dude. I made my kids eat a bunch of them. So Skittles always has had some nasty flavors, but most of the time it's good. For me, this isn't so much a game as it is a genre. Skittles for me are like turn-based strategy RPGs. So I'm usually playing one. I love them, but all of my favorite games are not in that genre, right? I don't think I have like a top 5 game that's a turn-based strategy, even though I enjoy them every single time. And so I would have to say this is my Skittles, because Skittles are not my favorite candy.
Not even top 5.
No, but I eat them a lot. I like when I want something. When I say like, "Oh, I want fruity candy," I just like, I don't know, like Skittles. Give me Skittles. That's what I tell my wife. Give me something fruity like Skittles. But it's not my favorite fruity candy by a long shot. I just always get it because it's easy.
Trent,
in fact, I have a bag of Skittles now.
Trent, what are your Skittles?
My Skittles, Pokemon games. So I love all of them. Everyone I've played, I've had a good time with. I've always enjoyed them. But the original flavors are still better. So my favorite Skittles, obviously, regular traditional Skittles, the wild berry Skittles, tropical Skittles, those 3 I could just have and not have anything else. But the other ones are still fun. So Pokemon, same thing. Red and blue are always going to be the best. Nothing's ever going to compete with them. But the new ones are still super fun. And the other thing they have in common with Skittles is I always eat so much or play so much all at once that I just burn myself out and then I don't want them for a while.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. Because Skittles is definitely a candy you can eat too much of, and it feels like it's melting a hole. I don't know why. I feel like Skittles has like twice as much acid as all other candies.
Can't feel your tongue after a while.
Yeah, they're so delicious, but yeah, they're acidic.
I think it's the sugar for me. I like start eating them and like I will get a sugar headache if I eat a whole pack of Skittles, which is not the same for other candy.
Oh, my mouth goes long before my stomach or anything else. Like my mouth gives out.
That's why you just start swallowing them.
Don't treat them like fucking pills.
Taking them like
just take them with a glass of Coke.
Imagine eating candy like that. You're just like, oh, I just have to get my blood sugar up. I just
have to get it in me somehow.
Oh my god. That is so the grossest thing I've ever heard. So Skittles for me are like an RTS, a real-time strategy game. I'm playing one right now. I'm playing Frostpunk, which Peterson turned me on to, and I'm playing because Jackson was playing it. I wanted to play a game with him together. I can in the way I play RTS games is not like when a lot of like big RTS game fans might think like StarCraft. When it's like super stressful and it's all about how many clicks you can get in per minute and everything.
Clicks per minute.
No, I like more meticulous games. I like ones that I can pause and think about for a sec. And the one like I'm playing Frostpunk right now, or if it's like Age of Empires, this is just like it's mindless. And that's my problem with Skittles and these games is I can mindlessly do them for hours. So I can stay up. If I have a big bag of Skittles in front of me and I'm playing a game, I'll just sit there mindlessly eating it forever. Just like I'll just sit there, and if I boot up Age of Empires or if I boot up Frostpunk, it's 2 a.m. and I'm like, what am I still doing? So that's mine.
Dude, quick admit it. I want to admit something. I had this exact Skittle experience this afternoon. I have a big bag of them. My son brought me the bag while I was sitting on the couch working. And he said, "Oh, can I have some?" So I gave him some and then just set the bag by my side. I probably ate 30 Skittles before I was like, "What? I don't even want these anymore. Just take them away, or I'm going to keep eating the whole bag."
You cannot eat Skittles in moderation. It's not possible.
No. And I don't eat them one at a time either, even though they're different flavors. It's like 2 at a time. Doesn't matter.
Like
I'll just pop. It's so stupid.
You're just not even breathing because you're swallowing them so fast. Let's do a complete shift to something entirely different. Almond Joy. I want to hear y'all's opinions on Almond Joy, starting with Trent because he just went,
Yeah.
Almond Joys are like my guilty pleasure. But, okay, Almond Joys, I just said blanket RPGs. Because Almond Joys, you look at them, and it's just, like, appearance only, it just looks like a bar of chocolate. You can't really see anything. And then you break it open, there's a lot going on inside. But I have to be in the right mood for them. I can't just sit down and eat an Almond Joy whenever, which is the same thing with an RPG. Like, I have to really be in the mood to sit down and put in the amount of time necessary to play through an RPG, because it's usually not just like a quick sit down and play through a 5-hour story or something. Like, it's usually a pretty big time commitment. So that's me with Almond Joys. They're really, really good. Guilty pleasure. Have to be in the right mood.
All right. I went a very weird route on this one. But stick with me. Bear with me here. Anytime you hear someone say bear with me, you know you're in for a treat. Almond Joys are educational video games from the 1990s.
Okay.
Like Math Blaster?
Where's this going?
Yeah, you're curious now. Almond Joys feel like a candy bar. They come in a candy wrapper. They're marketed as candy, and they're covered in chocolate. But the second you bite in, as me, I guess I should say I immediately am no longer eating a candy bar. I don't know what the fuck I'm eating. I feel betrayed. I feel like something has gone supremely awry.
Is that fruit?
Yeah. Is that fruit? What is this? Is this an avocado? Is this what an avocado is? People keep talking about avocados. I just hate it. I just hate them. I think they're disgusting, and I hate being betrayed by an Almond Joy.
It's like a fancy granola bar.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like I was deceived. Just like with a video game, you're like, oh my God, the teacher's like, we're playing video game. We're going to the library. We're having a computer
It's happening. Boys,
like,
it's happening.
Guys, we're playing a video game in class. They're like booted up. We're like, oh my God, it even has it has a song and it sounds 8-bit. And then all of a sudden I'm doing typing tests to make a bird fly. No! How did this happen? How am I eating Almond Joy? You want to spit it out, but it's in your mouth. So you have to finish it. So yeah,
you really don't like Almond Joys.
No, man, I don't like Almond Joy. What's the other one? The other Joy, Mouse,
the dark chocolate.
Yeah, no, I'm out on that. I could leave that. Okay, Peterson, what's your Almond Joy?
So I actually really, really like Almond Joy.
Yeah,
the thing is, I never, ever, ever buy them. I don't know why. If I'm getting a candy bar, it's like, I'll get a Snickers, right? I never buy Almond Joys for myself. But the only time and I'm not even joking, the only time I eat Almond Joy is at Halloween. Because we get tons of them, and I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm taking all the kids Almond Joys because it's like a special treat for us because we don't buy them. Mm-hmm. So I love them so much, but I never eat them. Except for one time a year, and this is in my exact relationship with the game Overwatch. I never play Overwatch, but every time I do, I'm like, this is so fun. Why are we playing this more, guys? This is a blast.
I like that.
And the last time I played Overwatch was the Halloween event, because the Halloween events are really cool and really fun. So I'm like, oh, they got a cool Halloween event. I'll log in and play Overwatch. Had a great time. Have not played it since. Same exact thing with Almond Joy for me. Last time I ate one was Halloween. Loved it. I don't know why I don't buy them. I just don't.
So Overwatch for me is apparently dots. Because I've never seen dots in a store. If they have them, I just don't see them. My eyes don't land on them.
And dots for me is like 90s educational video games. So we've gone full circle because I think they're awful. and deceiving, and they look like gummy Skittles, and they're awful.
They look like they're going to be fun. They are not fun.
You straight in the crotch.
Or you
already talking shit about gumdrops, but
dude, gumdrops are the worst candy ever invented. Fight me
so bad. I want to fucking just rip your face off and throw it on the ground.
Wait, do you like gumdrops or just dots, JD?
I can't.
He likes gummy everything.
Are they different?
What? No, gumdrops are gross.
Dots are
gumdrops. I thought Dots was just name brand gumdrops.
I guess
they're totally different flavored.
Chewier than gumdrops.
Yes.
Let's move on to our next one. Butterfinger. What game was your Butterfinger game?
This is a Porter one.
Yeah. Trent's
there's not really a good description here. I just said, Porter, what game does Butterfinger remind you of? And he said Madden, because there's always a receiver that has Butterfingers.
Oh my gosh.
Madden is Porter's Butterfinger. Coming in with a strong one.
I like that. I like the word association of this. For me, Butterfinger is Halo. Because the version I actually want to play of the game, that is Halo Wars, the real-time strategy version of Halo, doesn't exist anymore. Just like the real version I want to eat of Butterfingers, Butterfinger BBs, doesn't exist anymore. It's okay. Like, regular Halo's okay.
And then they discontinued them and brought out the candy bar. I don't get it.
I just want the BBs. Just bring me back the BBs. Just bring me back Halo Wars. Quit messing with me.
You know, that's a good point, because I think I brought this up to you, but the last Butterfinger I had was not good because they changed the recipe.
Yep.
And it's worse. It's so much worse.
Yeah, they got rid of the good thing, and then they made the only thing they had left worse.
So for me, Butterfinger, actually, I really liked Butterfingers before they changed the recipe. It was another one of my go-to candy bars. It's like Three Musketeers, Snickers, Butterfinger are usually or Kit Kat or Twix, are the ones that I usually choose between. Mm-hmm. So Butterfinger is one of my go-to, but I hate eating them because it all gets stuck in my molars, right? That stuff in the middle gets jammed in my teeth, and I gotta pick it out. It won't come out.
You don't have to pick it out. You just leave it for a snack for later. You eat Butterfinger all day.
That's how you get a cavity.
Peanut butter flavored everything.
Yeah, everything tastes like a Butterfinger today. I don't know what's going on.
Guys, you're not supposed to leave sugar on your teeth.
Why?
This is.
Give me a good reason.
It makes them stronger. Then they get used to having sugar on them.
I don't get cavities.
Yeah, and then you get metal, and then they become metal.
It's like getting a suntan, so you don't get sunburns anymore. It's the same thing.
Dude, why would I get a metal filling when I can just fill it with Butterfinger?
Do you have candy fillings? The dentist is like, I don't like this.
You drill out my sick cavity tooth and just pump a bunch of fucking sugar into it?
And then seal it in there somehow.
I want to feel like I'm eating candy all the time, and I want to taste it all the time. But I don't want the pain of this cavity.
Is there any way you could just rot this cavity straight to the jawbone?
The dentist is like, that. None of this is a thing. Did you read this somewhere?
Theoretically.
So, Peterson, what's your Butterfinger game?
Okay, sorry. I've said this one a lot, but it's Rocket League, because I go to Rocket League all the time. I'll go in, play a couple matches, but almost every time when I'm done playing Rocket League, I'm annoyed because we just lost 5 times in a row, or everyone's better than me and I suck because I'm not that good at it.
Kind of sounds like you replaced League of Legends with Rocket League.
Well, I do have more fun playing Rocket League because it's less of a commitment. But when I leave it, I'm like, I'm done. I'm playing something else tonight. I'm done playing Rocket League, right? It's the same thing with Butterfinger. I'm like, why did I eat this? Now all this stuff is stuck in my teeth, and I got to pick it all out, and it's super annoying. So that's my Butterfinger is my Rocket League.
Okay. This next one, we've actually got a clip for.
Gummy bears, bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventures that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
Yeah. This one is gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
What is your gummy bear game?
My gummy bears, all battle royale games.
Oh, what do you wait? Where are we going with this?
So here's the thing with gummy bears. I don't know anyone that doesn't really like gummy bears. Like everyone, no one at least talks negatively about them. I really can't stand gummy bears. I don't like them. I don't like any of them. I haven't really ever liked a battle royale game I've played, but everyone else apparently always finds one they can get into, whether it's Fortnite or I don't even remember the names now.
PUBG or Warzone or Apex.
Everyone has one that they've spent some considerable amount of time on. And everyone likes them, and they're kind of the thing now. But I just don't like gummy bears.
You sound like a real psychopath right now, Trent.
Gummy bears are also kind of like dots. They're just really similar.
All right, you need to.
They are not similar.
Might as well call what's yours, Jonathan?
Don't try to get off of you, Trent. You just told us you hate gummy bears like a psychopath.
No, they're awful. They're awful. There's no good texture to them. Like you chew them and you just go straight tooth to tooth.
Peterson, don't argue with him. History will not be kind to him. Okay, history will bear this out. All right, our next. I think for me, gummy bears is PC versus console games.
Okay.
And this one's complicated. It's complicated because it's a mixed metaphor / swapped analogy. So here's the analogy: is that some people very strongly prefer one over the other. That is PC or console. They're like, oh, well, I always like to play on PC, or I prefer playing on console. Just like some people prefer the Black Forest gummy bears, while other people prefer the Haribo gummy bears. You guys know these. If you guys actually know the difference, you are in this category. If you're like, what is he talking about? You're in the I don't care category. That is the I don't care if it's on a console. I don't care if it's a PC or if it's on my phone. It's a game. A game is a game is a game. So for me, I do care. I do care very strongly.
Yeah, the Black Forest are better of the two, for sure.
Get the fuck out of here!
Aren't Black Forest more like fruit snacks?
Yes! It's a traditional gummy bear. Jonathan coming in here with his Haribo garbage.
The only saving grace about Black Forest is if you leave the bag open for like 4 or 5 months and they get stale enough that they actually you can actually chew them instead of them being essentially a fruit snack. But you shouldn't have to age your gummy bears for them to be edible. Black Forest, get your shit together.
I'm sorry, don't you age all of your gummy candy?
Trent knows me very well. I do age all of my gummy candy. I get a bag of Haribo anything, and I rip it open the second I get home and throw it in the pantry so it can age.
Dude, that's so weird.
It just lasts longer that way. Would you rather chew on a gummy bear twice and then swallow it, or have to chew on that gummy bear for a full minute?
I'd rather eat Almond Joy.
You're disgusting, man.
I can't.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh my god. Dots, actually. Okay, so are you done with your gummy bear?
Yeah. What's your gummy bear, Peter?
So gummy bears for me, I understand that there is a gummy bear war going on. I'm not in for that though. I kind of like all the gummy bears. I am not discriminate. For me, gummy bears are fun. They're cute. They're totally inoffensive. But when I hear it, I hear the gummy bear song in my head. So when someone says gummy bears, I don't do it without going gummy bears, right?
Bounce here and there and everywhere.
Every time. So for me, this is Bubble Bobble. Now I don't know if they're
similar looking too. That's good,
dude. Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're Bubble Bobble. So bears are not real bears, not cute or friendly, but gummy bears are. Similarly, dragons are not cute and friendly, but Bub and Bob are.
Dude, what a throwback! That's
right?
Good.
And so for me, and the other part of this though is that gummy bears. How I get that song stuck in my head, I also get the Bubble Bobble song in my head, and it will just go forever. So yeah, gummy bears are Bubble Bobble for me.
Okay, we got 2 left. Let's go Mike and Ike's. And Peterson, you're already warmed up, and you're super into Mike and Ike's right now. So tell me, what is your Mike and Ike?
I do have to go into my Mike and Ike experience really quickly. I was eating like an idiot, just the normal green box Mike and Ike's, and I like them, right? I have zero problems with them. I really enjoy them. Always have. And then I saw at the store when I was looking for some fruity candy, I bought my bag of Skittles, and then I was like, oh, this box of Mike and Ike's looks good, and it's that mega mix with the 10 flavors. Opened it up, started eating it, and I was like, my world is different now. Everything looks different. Foods taste differently. Skittles are garbage. These are the candy. JD's not joking. Every single one of the 10 flavors is good. So Mike and Ike's for me is the company Sunset Games, who makes, or Subset Games, who makes Into the Breach and FTL. So these are they have 2 games. These are games that I didn't always play. And in fact, FTL, I just barely started playing. It's been out forever. Just barely started playing it. But I jump in and I love it every single time. The other day, I was like, yeah, I'll play some Into the Breach, even though I've beaten it so many times. I played it for like 4 hours. When I get into it, I love it. Just like that box of Mega Mix Mike and Ike's, I got into it, and I am obsessed. I want to go buy another box right now.
So for me, Mike and Ike's are GTA Online. Because we've been talking about this, it's the exact analogy you just used, which is that it started basic, which is the green box. But as they added a ton more shit to it, like helicopters.
Now they have a purple box, and they fight each other.
And flying motorcycles and Hot Wheels tracks all through the city and all this insane, crazy shit. And you're like, why don't all games have 10 flavors? Why can't all games have a Hot Wheels mod?
You know what? This is crazy, and I'm here for it. I am in.
It works. It's weird, but it works. 10 flavors is what I want. Trent, what's your Mike and Ike game?
So to me, Mike and Ike's are kind of a cute candy. I just think they're kind of cute looking. Like they're
described the candy as cute because Peterson said gummy bears are my tongue on it because what a weird thing to say. But now I'm like, do we need to pause this for a second and talk about what you guys are saying?
Well, so I would liken them to like the Yoshi games, like Yoshi's Story, Woolly World, Crafted World, all those games where you have all these different colored Yoshis and they're all cute and they're all fun to play and all Mike and Ike's kind of taste good. I haven't had a Mike and Ike I don't like, but they're just fun and feel good. Mike and Ike's is a feel good candy.
I'm on board for that. They are very cute. They look like cute little pills.
I mean, I guess Dr. Mario is there too. Yeah, cute little pills. You don't even need to chew them.
Yeah, they're really easy. When I want to swallow a bunch of candy, Mike and Ike's the Skittles swallow down. That one and Good and Plenty.
Good and Plenty just really hits the spot.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat them.
And that's a good segue into the next candy.
Let's segue into the next one. This is just, I think, did I put this on or did Peter? I don't know.
I put it on.
You just put
controversial
this on
ad.
This is bait.
Is it? Are we talking licorice? Like does
dude?
Do Twizzlers count? Or are we just talking just black licorice?
Licorice. So it's all licorice. So Good and Plenty to Twizzlers and everything in between.
It was bait.
Yeah, Peterson. So you start us off.
Yeah. So for me, when you talk about licorice, there's I like black licorice. I don't like black licorice. Or the bigger debate is Red Vines or Twizzlers. Are you a Red Vines family or a Twizzlers family? Right. And so for me, this is the old school fighting game debate. You
have to tell us now, Peterson, which one are you? What's your family?
Guys, listen, I will eat either. I like Twizzlers. Which is weird because I do not like cherry candy and Twizzlers are cherry flavored, but some about that texture just gets me and I can eat 100 of them.
Twizzlers nibs especially.
Oh my gosh, Twizzlers nibs because they're strawberry and I just I can't stop. Okay, so Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. It's the same type of debate. When you were a kid growing up, it usually wasn't both. I mean, everyone had played both, but it was like, what do you prefer, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? And for me, it was Street Fighter, right? Street Fighter had the easier characters, I will say. They chewed a little bit nicer. It was the Twizzler of the game world back in the day.
All right. How about you, Trent?
Ooh, for me, I said Nintendo is licorice. Just all of Nintendo.
Dang.
Because licorice has never really changed their basic game plan. It's always just been licorice. They don't have to come out with fancy flavors. I know Twizzlers has the sweet and sour and stuff, but I don't think anyone really buys
but they
those.
do, and you're like, get out of here.
Yeah, you just want the classic. And licorice has that kind of nostalgic whatever factor where it's you eat it and it just makes you feel like you're a kid again. And Nintendo hasn't changed their whole kind of company model ever. They've always had the same type of games for the same demographic. They just want to make fun games. And they always feel good, and it's always consistent, and licorice is always consistent. If I want something consistent, I just get a bag of nibs, and they're always good.
Ooh, nibs are super good. Nibs hardly count, but...
Whatever. if good and plenty counts, then nibs count.
So, for me, licorice is MOBAs. They're all gross. I don't really care for any of it. I can eat one. I can eat licorice. If someone tosses me some nibs, or oddly enough, the little small fun size packs of Twizzlers that are in the 2-packs that aren't like traditional Twizzlers are so yummy as well.
Like the kind you get for Halloween.
Yeah, they're different. They're different than the regular Twizzlers, and they're way good. So I'll eat them every once in a while, but I will never in my life buy Twizzlers. Go out and buy a MOBA or
it's a road trip candy.
Yeah, it's something that someone else has. Someone else is playing a MOBA, and they're like, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, "Ugh, fine." Someone else has Twizzlers. They're like, "Do you want a Twizzler?" I'm like, "Ugh, fine." That's how. If you ever offer me something, that's how I'm going to take it. Just so you guys know.
So what I've gathered from this whole thing is that we just don't agree on candy at all.
No, I don't know how we live together, but I do want to say I take full responsibility for your love and discovery of candy, which is even more ironic. I was your Jedi master, and you went to the Sith side after I trained you.
We can both agree on Starburst, though, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Starburst are great.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it was fun introducing you to candy, though. I just don't know what you've become. I hardly recognize you anymore.
He's your Anakin. He is Anakin to your Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I loved you like a brother.
I hate you.
Yeah. And Trent's over there with a mouthful of fucking Twizzlers. I hate you. Fuck, dude. Swallow your Twizzlers, Trent. It's gross. All right, let's move on.
Dice of Destiny.
It's the tightest. All right, Dice of Destiny is our cool, I guess I should say cute, because that's our word of the day. Dice of Destiny is this cute little segment we play at the end of every episode. We pick, we have a 20-sided dice. We roll and we have 20 different game genres assigned to it. So we roll to see what genre. We roll a 6-sided dice to see how much we can spend on the game, between $10 and $60. And then we roll another dice to see who has to find a game in that genre for that price, pick it, play it, and review it. And last week I rolled an RPG for $30, I think. I can't remember the price. All I know is that I got under it with Cloudpunk. Cloudpunk is a brand new game. It's an indie game that just came out. You play as a courier in a cyberpunk futuristic city. You are driving a car around the city. It feels very very indie-ish, and it feels very retro, oddly enough. And then so you drive around the city in your flying car, delivering packages, and you land in designated areas, and then you switch to a running mode where you're like a character running around the city, which is like this, kind of an isometric view think Diablo, think like an RTS. And then you deliver the package and you're on to the next thing. I have played it for just a couple of hours, and then unfortunately I got distracted by Frostpunk, another punk game, no relation. But so far it's been pretty fun. Like I said, it's just kind of a quirky little indie that I've had my eye on for a minute here. I like all things cyberpunk, so I had to check it out. But I will have a review for you guys for Cloudpunk next week.
Awesome, dude. I'm excited. It looks interesting and it looks cool.
And it does look cute.
It's pretty cute.
Oh, guys, it is really cute. I promise you.
All right, to play us out, Trent actually hooked us up with the theme music for Full Blast Corps.
With Blast Corpse.
Blast Corpse. Is it really Blast Corpse or is it Blast Corps and you called it Blast Corpse because you were a little kid?
Yeah, it's Blast Corps.
No, I'm pretty sure it's called Blast Corpse. I'm looking at it right now.
There's no E at the end of it.
Yeah. No, corpse as in like
the multiple corpse.
No, corps, just corpse.
Yeah, so if there's only one corp, it's a corp. And if there's multiple corps, it's corpse.
Yeah, I think you're saying it wrong.
Guys,
I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right.
Guys, corpse is a subdivision of the armed forces. It's like in that sense, like the
like the Marine Corps and the Army Corps,
or the Army Medical Corps, or the Prep Corps. Hey, do I really need to send this to you on Discord? Yeah, I will. We can finish the episode.
All right, guys. That does it for us this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm JD, logging off.
This is Peterson, going AFK.
This is Trent, going to play some Blast Corps.
Peterson Productions. Oh, yeah.